How do you feel when you walk into an airport? Do you feel safe? TSA officers who screen passengers wear uniforms that are closely related to that of law enforcement officers, but that is about the extent of their similarities. Should TSA officers have the power to make arrests or even carry firearms as they screen passengers at airports nationwide? This question has been brought up after the shooting occurred in Los Angeles, which killed a TSA officer. The union is concerned for the safety of the TSA workers and is striving for a solution to keep these workers safe. Armed officers patrol airports, though because of funding, airports cannot put officers per checkpoint. A proposed solution is some TSA workers who would be trained and patrol the checkpoints officers cannot. Many have their views on this situation, airport passengers and union president. Let's look at the shooting that caused the possible change in policy. On November 1st, 2013, in Los Angeles, a shooting occurred at a TSA officer in the international airport. A gunman killed the TSA officer Eduardo Hernandez and wounded 3 others. After the shooting, it took several minutes for police officers to respond to the situation, and it took even more time, too much time, for Hernandez to receive medical care. Paul Siciano, the alleged gunman, was indicted on 11 charges and has pleaded not guilty. Many are concerned about the safety of other TSA officers, especially the union. The union representing the TSA workers, the Association of Federal Government, are concerned for the safety of the workers. They are troubled on how officers are assaulted at airports every day, and they should have the power to make arrests. If the TSA workers are assaulted today, they have to call for the police. They also cannot leave the work area, so this does create problems. TSA officers wear badges and police-style uniforms, but they are not trained as sworn law enforcement officers and have no authority to take anyone in custody. Employees propose a new idea of a type of TSA officer who is armed. With the union in favor of the TSA upgrade, is there any reason to not go forth with the proposed ideas? We have never advocated for the TSA agents to be armed. They are there to screen the American public to keep them safe on airlines, said President Cox. In fact, some people who closely follow the industry are against seeing the TSA gain any more authority than they already have. To my mind, they have abused the powers that they already have. Their job is simple, very limited, to screen passengers and their bags, that's all. Kidd says he receives constant complaints about TSA officers, and to give them further powers would be a threat to public safety. The TSA already have the power that they need, and that they have abused it countless times to strip search old ladies, to disrobe passengers, to use body scanners for peep show purposes, and to pilfer passengers' luggage. Some flyers say, "I feel like the situation should be done by the regular police, and that we already have at the airport. I don't think more guns at the airport would be necessarily more security." This call for concern has led them to propose and approve solutions. The reaction to the November shooting was a 26-page report released, made 14 recommendations, including having a police present at checkpoints and ticket counters during peak travel times. The TSA do have 37 Viper teams who are heavily armed. Normally, these teams patrol the surface transportation, such as train stations. TSA screeners must undergo background checks before they are hired, and to train them as sworn law enforcement officers would take them off the job for months at a time and likely cost millions of additional dollars. Therefore, should a TSA officer be armed? The conclusion is tricky to decide. This concern is not black and white, right or wrong, or do or don't. The purpose of TSA workers is to screen passengers and their luggage. As a result of the shooting in Los Angeles on November 1st, 2013, the question brought to attention is if upgrading a TSA officer to have the same authority as the police officer could be a viable option, should we do it? The union believes that this is a great solution to protect the workers, and others believe against this fact due to them abusing the powers they currently have. With law enforcement tied up at times, the TSA Viper teams have redistributed their groups. In all, I believe TSA workers should be armed, but they shouldn't have any more authority than they currently have. Everyone has the right to protect themselves, and there is no need to increase authority of the TSA officers who have already abused that power. I hope this helps. Thank you for watching.